in a vain attempt to get some nice background music for free from YouTube. I listened to one file in there and about threw up, so I had to put real musicians on in the background, and then, of course, I'll probably have advertising on this video. It's not like I'm, they'll just run advertising. That's how it works. It's amazing how the robots are able to sniff out even quiet versions of real music. So this is three guys jamming. Keith Jarrett. This guy actually will accidentally sing while he is jamming. He gets so into it. This guy's nuts. This guy stands up. So the video right there, I'm sure right there is enough to trigger the robots. So they're easily triggered these days. I'm sticking robots. Just so. Another problem is because of the software I'm using, I have to take him down to just barely on. Otherwise, one notch up. It's professionally recorded. I think in Tokyo, people have the patience to listen to this shit. That's why the Asians and the Filipinos, these people, you want to have a PAM account. Put your money in one of these Asian traders' accounts. They're just killing it. Focused people. What's going on in the world right now is just unbelievable. The Hong Kongs. It's a full circus right now. I'd say we're about coming into this end of this year. It's going to be spectacular. I'm buying the Eurodollar right now. So let me show you the... Also wanted to show you the clock I'm using. I'm going to put this link in here along with the scripts. It's called Clock X. Now this last version here is 2013, but you know what? You got tons of clocks in here. You can change the size of this clock. You can take the second hand off. So I live and die by the clock. So are the robots. So I'm pulling the trigger here 5 minutes before the top of the hour. 5 pip stops. I'm going to go to the account and we'll see. Now, we were at 12,000 for just a nanosecond this morning, and then we had to bail and go to, well, I never got out of the original winners, so I added here as this came down. I started to throw in the, I'm buying at the market frantically now because I want to get into about $1,000 a margin. Just to make 7 pips, 9 pips, 8. There's 8 to make 14, on and on and on and on and on. This is the big outlander. So I've been putting in these 50 and 100 pip winners out in front of me. So to play out this whole wave, which I think is a complete 2-day retracement after coming down at the beginning of the week. So this kind of lazy pullback here at the beginning of the week. After we start off the month with the 30-day same as cash trade, notice the climaxes happen to amazingly be at the end and the beginning of the month. That's kind of weird. I wonder why that is. Why is there a wick right as you close out the monthly chart? These vertical lines are the end of the month. I wonder if it has anything to do with money. Are people actually going, well, at 30 days, your payment's due the first of the month? Yeah, I think they're running the books on the first of the month. That's when they send out your statement. That's why the brokers, he's going to, they call it, dress your account. Dude, everybody's dumping out the fucking end of the month, you stupid. Like, everybody's leaving the party, man. You can stick around? Yeah, well, there could be another party right here. No, that party's over. Like, if you miss that party, that entry, and that's the sad thing about, and this is why the fear of missing out is a real thing, and why you have a fear of missing out, because you need it. Sometimes you just got to get in. So right now I'm going to add on my tablet, I'm coming in with 8 pip stops right now to make the whole series. I'm going to try to make 12, and if this thing crashes, I can come in here on the desktop and start clicking. So another thing you can do is if you take all profit, and somebody asked me, do you have a close all positions? Yeah, in the link there, you have to dig through it. There's like probably 20 versions of this platform in there. There's got to be, I'd say 2,000 scripts in there. There is drag and drops, and I'm going to go through what's in there today. So there'll be when you see this master link, you will be able to kind of tell what's inside there. Now, it's just text, really code. There is some video links in there, like how to load, because I wasn't going to make a video like that because I don't know exactly, you know what, you can hear this guy, the keyboard player's doing like scat with himself there. He won't shut the fuck up. But they let him do it because he's so good. We got 1 minute before the top of the hour, so I'm just loaded up for one last gust of wind north. A nice power play here. 24 hours of bliss from, 48 hours of bliss from the bottom stop hunt. Right, they took out the cheap guy. Let's listen to this motherfucker on piano. Can you play like that? He's playing the forex market, obviously. Piano roll. So, yeah, I think we could maybe take out the high. Now, here it was for the bears that like to scalp. I pointed this out earlier. Everybody knows this trade. Some guy asked me what my strategy, another guy. Already, it seems after I do a video where I do the whole strategy, one of them, people are like, so what's your strategy? I don't get it. Now, right now, it's buy like a motherfucker as fast as you can. So I'm going to buy another $200. I'm only looking to make 11 pips. Asia's just so easy, man. Asia's saying, it's 6 o'clock. Brokers have been open for an hour. Let's go. We're either going up or down from here. We could be trapping people on the 4-hour chart, though. We could be doing that. Okay, so like I said last night, if you're the 4-hour trader and you're a bull, what do? If it's down a little bit, you buy a lot. If it's down a lot, you buy a little. So you have to keep your dollar metrics in order with how much money's in the account. So it says, well, I can trade 80K now with tight stops, and I can trade 40K with medium stops. I can trade 20K with wide stops. Everybody's going to make money on that trade. You can't put a car that's designed to go 140 miles an hour and expect it to do that in the desert. No, you're going to need some kind of special tires in the desert. So you can't get around the fact that you're going to have special custom scripts for different market modalities. I have more than one strategy. So I have a breakout strategy. And even if I don't trade it, I got it in my head because I know right now if we take out the 1-hour charts, if you could go to a 2-hour bar chart if you wanted to take an MT5 platform and run it as a demo and use that as your analysis of the 2-hour time frame. Or what you could do is count back 2 bars in the 1-hour charts. So granted, if you put up the 2-hour closing prices like I have here, this is the closing price on top of a bar chart, you're going to see a lot less noise. You're probably only going to see one trigger pull at the market. So the market's telling you on the 1-hour chart, it's going to, every hour there's a trade here. Where on the 4-hour chart, there's less trading, right? So there's less chances to have a problem. Because with my buy low, sell high rule, if it's up, you sell. If it's down, you buy. It's counterintuitive trading. I'm going against no nonsense from the first price pulse. From the first his idea of a signal is my idea of like I should be up on this trade. Like I should have got in before. I should be up and in profits when no nonsense is just deciding to get in. That's how I know my strategy. That's my strategy. Is to make more money than an over-filtered. Like it's like the guy that's with the pickup artist. Let me show you how to pick up women. Oh my God. If a girl suspects that you're trying to pick her up, then you're in trouble, right? What do you get? What do you perv? Get out of here. So you have to be one of the girls. That's why the gay guy's got all the hot chicks. Some gay photographer's got hot chicks just falling all over him. He's safe. He's not gonna. He's not gonna trump you. Come here. The short hairs. Plus, we have after the top of the hour here. It's about after the top of the hour, people. That 5-minute window, the glorious 5-minute psycho window where fortunes are made and people are destroyed. Keith's acting up here. Listen, it's not enough he's playing piano. He's got to fucking be barking and shit. What gives him the right? How dare he? Wow, that bass player. Bass player's like, fuck you, watch this. That's what I feel the markets are doing. Now it sounds like he's being raped. The keyboard player. Uh-oh, wait. About to lose my fucking... Please hold. I gotta plug in my backup computer here. My tablet doesn't. The battery's... just gonna warn anybody who thinks that it's a panacea to have mobile devices. I feel like I have a canteen that's running out of water right now. Please hold. Your call is very important to us. Press 5 for Taliban. That's what my prop firm's going to be. Press 5 for Yiddish. Okay. Try to save it here. I think it's cute when the light goes red. Uh-oh. Oh, it didn't last long. Damn, when it went into full, what do they call it? That's kind of fucked. We can still do the other stuff here. I was trying to read the comments off the tablet, but plus I was trading that damn thing. It's alright, I'm almost there. Look at the spread just got really nasty here because of the 5-minute traders. See, we just updated that. So that's we're catching up there. We have a big 5-minute bar previous to us. So on the 5-minute chart, if you have tight spreads, you can see the spread there we have to make up. We have to buy that top white line, and that is our... If we were to get in and out of the market without the market moving, we would lose 50 cents. And now you would lose 60 cents. So, plus the, I'm sorry, it's, yeah, it's going to cost you like $50 here if you were to get a standard lot. I'm sorry, that's a half a pip. That's a half a pip. So, yeah, we're talking about half a pip plus 2 pips round turn. I think in Oanda, it's going to cost you almost $1.50, I think. I mean, 1.5 pips. So that's a problem. If you can see it, it might bother you. That's why you kind of have to place your limits in an array, a tight pack. Here we go. Okay, here it is. In other words, buy limits here wouldn't have got filled. You kind of have to buy at the market right now. That's why you want your buy limit here, and I would have to say that did get filled because the spread is yay wide. Okay, it's all about the spread. Cost of doing business if you're on this chart. Of course, here, you just have to pull the trigger at the end of 5 minutes. Because you may not be able to get this price anymore, right? If it's going up, you're chasing it. So what's the cure for the fear of missing out is to have a trade plan for stuff like you're going to look at the market every hour. Well, there's a buy, there's a sell, buy, sell. Did you make money with that crude system? Put a 25 pip stop on that, right? Well, the volatility's dried up. It's not really, right? You got a trade plan for this bar? You'd be at break even right now if you sold there. If you sold here, sell. There's 4 sells. People say, well, I can't fucking believe you're selling that. What kind of strategy is that? That's my market order strategy. So I have 3 strategies. I have the non-directional breakout strategy. We put a buy stop here. We put a sell stop here. We walk away. The other strategy is, I think I know where the market's going. And I think that I'm going to sell here and here and here. Every time it's up, I'm going against. And I was selling because I was long. I was cashing out on longs here. Right, so that was, in essence, for the trade to be completed on the 1 hour chart. So this was Asia, we popped up, we drift back. There was 1 buying opportunity at the market, 2, 3. So what I'm saying is, it's 7 o'clock. If this is down, I will buy again on my 1 hour system. It's a lower frequency trading system than the... I'm explaining all the strategies that exist to make money, really. Pick one. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Because some people do not like the idea of every 15 minutes. Say I have buy limits here. And I buy here and I buy here. Is this a good entry on the 15-minute chart? Is that a good re-entry point? So the structure on the 15, the game on the 15 is this bottom becomes a top. You got a trade plan to get in there? Are you going to put sell stops here when there's a small bar? Are you babysitting the 15? You nearly have to. Of course, this setup takes about an hour. And here, are you selling? Well, you should be. If you bought here, I hope you took something off the table if this is like $300. If that's a $300 move now, you can't see the spread so much anymore, right? Like here you can't see it. So, yeah, the half-hour chart. Less trades than the 15. Higher probability. Lower frequency trading. First time you can draw a trend line is on the 30-minute chart. There's your trend line. Now you have, once again, a triangle of vacuum. Potential. This is a supply and a demand zone. We also have pent up supply and demand here right now. I got buy limits in here. In case they stop me out of my tight stops. I'm running tight stops so I can do a Bill Williams strategy. You're long, but you are, well, kind of like Bill Williams. If it was Bill Williams, you would have buy stops here, sell stops here. That's all he really does. He doesn't take into account volatility, though. I think that's the big flaw in his system. I mean, obviously this, if you put a buy stop here and a sell stop here, right? Sure, you can say you made money here, but which is the preferred breakout? The tighter. Buy stop, sell stop. You could put a buy stop here and a sell stop here. But if you get filled on both legs, you are in a giant losing, locked in shit trade. If you have a robot that can take advantage of this small bar and put on a trade plan that's specifically designed for this range, if this is 12 pips, you got a 4 pip stop and a 4 pip stop. If your buy stop is here, protection for that order is now here. If that's filled, the take profit is here. on the sell side. You have a sell stop here. Protection for that is here. Profits here. Whichever way the wind blows, strategy. Maybe I'll make up names for these strategies. If we get filled on a buy stop here, and you put a sell stop here for protection, do you have a script you can double click that's going to put a buy stop in 2 pips above with a 8 pip? Yeah, you could write that. I've got one buy stop script in here that shows you what I think of that entry, but you could build a hedge here. You could sell a little bit, be up as soon as it goes down by, never drop. Unless you've got a stop that it kind of ricochets around in here and fucks you up. But right now we're trapped under this auction floor, aren't we? This was the glorious auction today. If you had buy limits in this is a big deal, this price. This is maybe what ICT might call an order block. I'm not sure what the fuck he's talking about. He's on a 15-minute chart, which I don't get that either. Why is he looking back like 5 days? Look at this beautiful 30-minute chart. Bottom becomes a top. Nice and clean, right on the clock. Sell at the market. You're also selling at the market because you think it's in a downtrend. Everything comes together here. All 3 traders that trade that strategy are trading it there. Or we're seeing a major pivot there. For whatever reason, it's revealing itself in 3 different psychological reasons. The guy that buys here, it goes up. He moves his stop. He has a trailing stop. He gets stopped out. Well, the buyers, the auctioneers take advantage of this new low. You know, unbeknownst to the trend trader, so the no nonsense is, sadly, he's buying here on confirmation. He's buying here on confirmation, but if he doesn't get out here, that's why you see the no nonsense guys. They get in here, and then they have to take something off. Or they do move their stop and trail it, and here they make money. They get out in here on this big up bar. They survived. This did not come back down and stop them out. I can see they're trading, but this is one. Not only is he trading one strategy called trend trading, he also has it so heavily filtered. He can't take advantage of. Well, I think he has is a fragile system, to be honest with you. This is why he's poking into, well, you should have a little human trafficking on the side. You should have a little this, a little that, a little gold, a little Bitcoin, a couple stamps. Do they still collect stamps? A couple, how about, oh God, like 30 years ago, this guy came to our house. I thought he was from Scientology or something. And I don't know, because I had my own business, the guy was like, if you want to do what the banks are doing, this is the first time I heard what the big banks were doing. Big banks are buying they're buying antique art, prehistoric, for and some guy named I want to say Epstein, but it was like a name like that. And this was the guy that was like the judge, jury, and executioner, whether that artwork was the real deal. So if you've ever watched documentaries about forged artwork, it would be totally possible for this guy to be totally full of shit and have this whole giant pyramid scheme. But supposedly, you know, the big banks were, their clients are these guys that using it for collateral. You know, the banks saying, this is it. Fuck that bond market. We've got like, this is a. So he said to me, well, we've got these beetles in stone. I think he called them fossils or something. And you should think about buying one of those. Or at least making payments towards one. At that time, my wife, she's like, she didn't know anything. And I'm kind of suspicious about this guy. But, you know, he was referred by somebody legitimate. This is how it happens. This is how people lost money with, who's the guy that conned a bunch of people? And his son commits suicide, I think, later on. It'll come to me. You know what I'm talking about. And he was a Jewish guy. I think that a lot of people trust him because the Jews are good with money. They're carrying diamonds in New York. Here, give him some money to manage. I think his name kind of had like a rip-off name to it. Isn't it funny how people that are like Shifty Shift, the people that end up at the helm, their name is just like, wow, dude, like that's a perfect fit. Um, so as far as strategies go, I think that the stop entry is the confirmation strategy. It also could be the non-directional strategy. I'll just get picked up in the order flow, whichever way the wind blows. I buy stop above, buy a sell stop below. And the guy had a catalog, so that was the thing. He brought the catalog to the home, and he goes, "See, what do you want?" I go, "Well, I can only afford that $50,000. I mean, the bank's apparently into some high end. Like this is from the Egyptian ruins. So your mortgage is dependent on that thing not being fake. So the 3D printers out there and all the, I just heard they're coming out with a. I saw that this guy was commenting. I went to his site. Looks like it's some orthodontic stuff there. So, this is where they're the cutting edge of the robots and the printers. Everybody's got a printer now. You print a gun. They've got. It's just scary, and of course the business he's in is a tough business because there'll be people scanning their fucking mouth. When is the Apple phone going to have the scanner, or you just high res scan, and it's very quick. Pick up the whole fucking thing. It's 3D modeled. No time you got it in the mesh. You're fucking manipulating it in Blender. Next thing you know, hey. When are they going to come out with the AR-16? I think I want to do here is, I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to come out. I'm giving this one away today for free. The AR-17.5. How about the AR-618? How about Death by Fibonacci? How about this home is guarded by Fibonacci assault weapons? I had to buy some assault mouse traps for the house. I'm not kidding you. You gotta see these things, man. I got one in the original box. Signed by the mouse. Oh fuck, I'm missing the insert. You gotta see this shit. It's called high velocity mouse traps. Anyways, the clock. Clock on the wall. What's so funny is at 5 p.m. So No Nonsense gets into trades around a little bit, a couple hours ago. So he's like, yeah, I like this. Let's go find what No Nonsense is trading. We don't even need his algorithm to see what his strategy is. So that stuff drives me nuts, that No Nonsense shit. Listen to this guy. Shut the fuck up. We don't care how good you are on piano. He's bragging. Drummer puts this syncopated bullshit. Like, listen, look at this fucking thing. Look at this wick, for the love of Pete. Anybody buying that? They're shitting their pants if they're buying that thing too. If you're buying into that on the way down, so this is the thing. Most people are going to buy. Maybe they'll buy here, they'll buy here. Stop moving on me. You buy here, you buy here, you buy here, maybe you get stopped out. Who's got a deep enough pocket to buy all the way down? Wow. I think this is the important price. I buy a little bit here, then when it gets to here, wow. If it ever got past that, ever. Who doesn't want that price? Well, the banks want it. The big banks. Here's a secret of the big banks. They just look at price. Kind of like when you go on Amazon. How are you any different than a big bank? This whole big bank just pisses me off. Dude, if you can buy below here, you think they don't want that price? Why do you think it ripped the other way? Why do you think people cashed out at this floor on clothes? Yeah, that party's over. We'll buy full bags. Smart money. The winning traders. I'm going to say the winning traders. Smart money. You could be pretty fucking dumb and make money in these markets. Hey, buzz going up. Yeah, they're just trapping all these poor people now. They're just trapping all of these trend traders. Like the one guy was like, "Yeah, I think the trend's coming. I think the party's over for the pound." You think? To watch these guys talk about the pound, and then somebody, these are the trades people can't believe. You mean to tell me that you bought into this? Now I could have loaded the wagon on this, but you see that's a 200 pip move, dude. You can't take an algo and apply it to all these fucking markets without having completely different settings. This is amazing. So what, no nonsense, did he built this high filter system that only sees these dramatic moves. This is 200 pips. Are you serious? Look at this. One day, we close here, no nonsense buys into that. He puts a stop in. He misses out on this trade. He's lazy. Oh, we got a buy signal here. Look at this. Look at this nice sideways shit. Okay, it's 5 minutes before the bottom of the hour. This looks like a buying opportunity. Let me run to the... I'm going to get in on scalps here. So here's where I just frantically... I'm afraid of missing this. This isn't going to cost me more than $13 to do this right here. I'm going to get to $1,000 of margin. Okay. So it's not filling me. Oh shit, I'm buying the wrong thing. See, look at that. I got so pissed off. See, this is why I only trade one currency. I'm supposed to be getting in this one here, loading into the fucking pound. There you go. So I'm going to get out of that trade there. I don't want to be in that. See, the guy asked me, well, why don't you... Yeah, because then I got to do this shit. Find the symbol, get out of the fucking bad trade. So, I'm not holding on to this. Yeah, close all open and pendings. It is in this. If you looked at this one link, please hold while this thing shoots you in the head. Wait. Okay, I just want to get the fuck... I don't want to see that on my platform. So, but it is a good buy. I mean, for a scalp, I think there's some follow-through left on the table here. But pip-wise, okay, if we take out this high, we'll be taking out the high in the euro dollar. But there's no way that I'm going to take all these these ones that I wrote, and the spread here, notice, sucks. Okay, so it's not... It's for people that are running 15 pip stops, which I have the 5 pip and the 7 and the 8s and the 9s and the 10s. If I was going to trade, it would cost me more money in a sense. If I just trade, I would just trade the British pound. Okay, this is how it would be. I would just trade the British pound on a really tight spread broker that I could do it, right? So in Asia here, we're going to go to 3 pips. We might even go to 4 pips. If I'm in some giant position on the 5-minute chart in the British pound, this is why the 28 pairs thing is just harebrained for me. I just can't. You're a swing trader at that point. Why do you even give a fuck? Look at this. I bought. Well, this I'm updating. But you just got to pick a slot, man. You got to say, you know what? I'm trading this thing for now. Sure, I could trade the pound later. It's going to cost me more. I'll make more money. But the shipping and handling's brutal. I could have put buy limits on the Swiss franc. I can tell you without even looking at the Swiss franc tanked. So there's no bear bull market. So it tanked earlier, but look how this is completely going the same direction as the euro dollar. Another scam. People fall into this. Well, the correlations. Let's look at the dollar index, dude. You're looking for a way to save yourself. Look at the dollar index. That'll give me a gauge. I'll look at the dollar yen. Yeah, that's a ticket. Wait, they're all going up. Wait a second. The euro's going up. The dollar yen's going up. Something's wrong. Wait a minute, Buster. So, isn't anybody disturbed by that? So I've been through all that. I've been through all this. Well, wait a minute. If the dollar's going down against the pound, then surely the dollar against the Swiss is no, it's not. It did go down. It stopped hunted this goober. So I'm buying this. This is my other strategy. It's called the stop hunt. I'm the stop hunter. I put a limit order down here. I don't care. I'm buying in this pocket. It's also called a buy low, sell high strategy. Okay, I'm going to buy some more euro here. We're taking off. So let's get on it. Let's go get it. I'm using my no nonsense lingo here. Now, bottom of the hour is coming. I want to be in before we update the half-hour chart. Because why? I'm buying because it's down in the half hour. I want to get in before it goes up. I will not buy and chase it. And I'm not really chasing. Fear of missing out is not chasing. I mean, they could be, but I'm the fear that we're going to break out. I'm going to miss the breakout. I'm not trading the breakout, but I know that it's a possibility that this void above me is important. That this looming vacuum, not very big, this looming vacuum, this is the two contestants on The Price is Right is today. Are we going to break? Which way are we going to break out, people? And will we trade sideways forever? I can guarantee you there's no way we're going to go. So what do you know for certain? We're not going to go sideways forever. We're either going up or we're going down. Or we'll go down a little bit and go way up. Or go up a little bit and go way down. So we could trap people. There's no guarantee if you put a buy stop here and a sell stop here that it's going to be a clean break. It'll never look back. They could trap you here, and then it just weasels down, traps you here, weasels. It could weasel. It could go into a what they call an expanding funnel, where it weasels, and the weasels get bigger, and everybody's getting their ass kicked, right? The ultimate risk of ruin for a breakout system, a strategy like this. Okay, what is your strategy? What is yours? What would you prefer it to be? Because you can put a buy stop here, and if you keep pulling the trigger, there's a sell stop here, a buy stop here, multiple layers. It's about layers. Okay, when it gets cold out, it's about layers. If you put a buy stop here, if this buy stop lasts for an hour, it's completely different than if it lasts for a week. For a week, it's probably going to get tagged, but if it lasts for an hour, if you put a sell stop here, a sell stop here, sell stop, sell stop. When the market comes back to here, you're not being trapped on these lingering sell stops. You need to cancel, replace. The script tells you exactly how long it will last. Inside of trades is the close all. Close all. I made that hard to get to, so it's buried in the trade folder. Close all profitable closes everything profitable. So I made it so that I don't accidentally get out. The worst thing to do is build a giant position here and accidentally cash out. I've done it. If you do that, immediately close the platform. It will stop executing. As long as your platform's open, it'll keep running the robots. Whatever you're doing that's going terribly wrong, just close out. Because if you otherwise you got to open this up and say it's the fastest way to abort everything. But if you go close all pendings, you're also going to stop that script from running. It has to constantly, every time it says we did that, it's going to go back and go. That's why server connection is going to matter, because that handshake has to be on every ticket. It's closing all profits. If you have two computers open on one account, you can close all profitable and start coming in with limits. You don't have to wait for the profitables to go out. So if you really want to hand it off and go cashing out, I'm getting out here on my winnings and I'm coming immediately with 2 pip, 4 pip. This is like, I wouldn't call it high frequency trading, I'd call it high quantity trading. You're really putting in quite a bit of stuff there. Like right now, I could cash out on that price pulse. Like I just said, you should be selling now. If you bought here, hopefully you got out of something, because there is no guarantees in life. If you're looking for a guaranteed strategy that works all the time, this strategy works in Asia. Doesn't work here. You may say, oh, but it does. I put a buy stop here and a sell stop here and look, I made money. Yeah, but your risk of ruin of getting filled on both legs. I'm talking about the buy stop, sell stop strategy. My view is if I'm a bear, I want to sell here and I want to sell here at the market if I'm here to see it on the 30-minute chart. And I got to have the 30-minute chart with me all day long in my pocket. And if I see it, I pull the trigger. Because the rinse and repeat factor. If you put a buy limit pending here because of this price, you see this price, the market's here, you say I want to buy the retest, I want to buy support, and I know this is support, not to the pip. What I find so hilarious is that people are like, they can't see that this is where the market turned around and that's support. Yeah, but what if it goes through it? That's not support anymore. No, it's still support. And even some people came in and bought it for a little bit. And maybe they didn't buy because they see this. But this is the... When this came down here, those tickets are filled. New sellers come in, right? So people are holding, and then what about this? Okay, so right now I would put a buy stop. You could also leg into the hedge. Buy stops, your sell stops, you're short right now. You're up, and now you put your buy stops in. Just inside of this breakout strategy, you could either leg in, where you're running buy stops now when it's going down, and when it goes up, you're running sell stops. So you really kind of would be not winning or losing necessarily here. You'd be kind of in a slightly up position. Even though you're getting these shitty, if you have a trailing, also how close is your stop? Is it 1 pip away? If it's 10 pips away, that doesn't make sense to me. Who's putting a sell stop in down here? Sure, you could be right. There could be velocity that takes that down. But the way I see it, I want my buy grid here. My limit grid to buy is all down here all day. Even if they stop me out of my tight scalps where I've been buying at the market here, and they do trap me, blow me out, doesn't matter. I'm still going to be a buyer down in this pit. So I have 3 strategies going. I've got my limit banks in here, and I'm watching the market every half hour. I could sell here at the market today because it's up, and I could sell here at the market. If my sell limits are in a pocket here, hand placed, they didn't fill. If when we get a small true range per half hour, I put in a sell stop and a buy stop. And that strategy is making money, and my sell at the market's making money. The trick is to trade all 3 strategies. You got your goober strategy, buy stop, mechanical trading, sell stop. The other holy grail is to have a sell stop that is 1 pip above, 2 pip. I'd say 5 is my outside max. Having a buy stop here, sure, later on tonight that could be great. That'd be the worst fucking trade in the world. But not if it's 1 ticket and they tag it and pull it back. Besides, if this buy stop is connected to a sell stop here and they pick you up on that and it comes back, and you're going to think you're a fucking genius. You're like, that really does work. But I'm talking about individual notes on individual instruments. Like this guy on piano, 88 keys or 93 if you got the Bolzendorfer. But 88 keys, 8 octaves. You've got how hard are you going to hit each key? Which key are you going to hit? Right, so that's what I'm looking at. This is middle C. We're always at middle. We're always in the middle of the keyboard. I'm not going to be judgmental. We could either go flying up here and tag all these limits. put sell limits up there. If the market rockets up and tags a few, at some point you got to say, you know what? I've either got to buy this pullback at the market. I'm short, I'm up, I'm in a winning locked hedge right now. In the United States, you'd have to have 2 accounts on 2 screens. This looks like a pure buy here. I'm buying because it's down. That's one strategy. Strategy 1, buy because it's down at the end of 15 minutes. I'm looking at the clock. Can you think in the next 7 minutes we're going to be down? I'm looking at this like they just stop hunted some poor guy. Some eager beaver got in here. No nonsense buys here. Well, okay. He's right for a little bit, and maybe they'll never hit his stop down here. But why can't I just come in and go? It's down, I'm buying. I'm buying. If in 6 minutes it's here, I'm buying. Plus I had limits here in my mind. When I see them take out those stops, I would pull the trigger. Right? Look at the feeding here. Look at how it's feeding on that. Right? Are we going down lower? If they do, I'm buying. I got another. They stopped me out of something here. I got another. So here's where the anger comes in. I'm going to buy it back. Fuck them. I'm actually going to double up. I'm going to double down here. I'm going to add to the loser. Okay, I'm about to buy heavy here because we're piercing into that thing. And now I'm going to do my secret weapon is the 8 hour. I'm committing to 8 hours of buying here. And this is just into the void. I will wait to pull the trigger again because without putting in a different script, if this drops another pip, it's beautiful. They're overlaid. It's the perfect limit grid. We don't duplicate any tickets because we have so many fucking tickets. We can just scale it. We don't care. We're like army ants, dude. This is the army ant strategy. You just have so many fucking ants that the other ants lay down and let the other ants cross over. Yeah, you're going to lose a few soldiers. Yeah, you got to pull out. Dude, we can't babysit you forever. You knew that the relationship was already in the rocks. Dude, you're dressed. You're in the... I see these films from the... Dude, you're just shooting shit in the... You're blowing up sand? What kind of fucking war is that? I think they're all gay. They're just playing... Let's play Army Man today. Dude, what do you... Just go home. Dig. Look at Saddam Hussein. He dug a fucking hole in the ground. What a genius. They found him in a hole in the ground. He's like, you got me. Fuck. Okay, I'm going to hit this again. Slightly different price. Every time you get a slightly different entry price, you're reducing your risk. You're softening the blow. So we're down $1,000 from our peak. We're still up $600 on this. Structurally speaking, we are in a pullback at a higher price. Okay, so we're getting in here just before the update of the 15-minute. I feel like I'm locking in a win here. As we walk down, I'm loading up. This broker goes offline for 5 minutes at 5 p.m. There, you cannot trade. That's what this little bar is about here. So it slams down, baby bar, breaks out, rips up, sellers come in. They're winning. Maybe they're cashing out. Somebody has a stop here, has a stop here. Or these are just holes in the market. You can look at these as holes left behind, just like this double wick low. We come down. Boom. That's fueling this move. This hole is fueling that move. This is the fuel. Even when we crush into here, we know there's tons of people going to cash out here. They're going to let you have a little bit of money. No nonsense when he says, oh, they're going to let you have a little bit of money in this trade. But yeah, because when we get to here, there's sellers here, dumb shit. You're only going to make 5 pips. No shit. Probably, are you going to sell there? But you're not going to sell everything you own there, because if you sold everything you own here, what are you going to do about when it's back to here and now you're just like barely making money on the trade, right? Okay, so I'm back in $1,000 margin. I'm not going to touch it. I got in before the update of the 15-minute chart. I could see we're going down there. On the 5-minute chart, the 5-minute market strategy. All these strategies work. There's nothing against the no-nonsense trade. It's just like, how is this guy able to make a living? And how is the prop firm not said to him, are you going to trade or what? Like, are you going to trade or what? Like, you're so not trading. Good Lord in heaven, man. Pull the trigger. I used to scream at the screen watching Akil Stokes. Dude, get in here. What are you, fucking nuts? Well, we don't have a Gartley here. All we have is a triple bottom. It's not confirmed until the market goes here, and then I guess that was our triple bottom. Let's buy, guys. We have a confirmed triple bottom now. You're waiting for confirmation on every trade. Yeah, well, we had the George Soros trade last night. They finally blew out the top. I fell asleep. Yeah, we finally went screaming through that thing and ripped like a whore. Yeah, I know. Sure, there's sellers here, but are you going to sell everything? It's also a 618 and a Gartley. I like the people looking for Gartleys. Dude, are you reading tea leaves to get laid? What are you doing? I got Zodiac cards. Stop it with the Zodiac shit. I'm using like a lunar. Maybe that's why the chart on the monthly's turning around. It's the new moon, dumb shit. I've been trading astrological. Some people stumble across my channel and go, dude, you don't understand. I've been doing astrology, and I got a pentagon on my private part, and basically that's my when I pull the trigger. How do you think I'm pulling the trigger? Asia is so nice and tame. Here's the nice 4-hour robot pull trigger at market. It's my Asian bot. 4-hour robot, a pull trigger at market. Yeah, all my mentorship, the course. I'm actually here as a spokesperson for a guy that doesn't speak English. So when I send you DVDs, be like, dude, can't understand him. I know. That's why a discount course. What I think the saddest thing is, and this is like an ethical crime, kind of like Biden it may not be illegal to have your strung out son get a really high-end paying gig. But how can empowered trading with a straight face go, well, we have our advanced pattern course module, another $1,500. Oh my God. Scientology has more fucking ethics. Well, Scientology actually has an ethics class. How to beat a fellow Scientologist with a rubber hose so you don't leave marks. That's what the next thing they're going to accuse Trump of is, I think Giuliani's supplying him with rubber hoses. How can you trust these guys from New York? That's coming. So the 15-minute guys, I'm not buying. I'm done buying the 15-minute walk down. That's my market entry strategy with tight stops. Then I have my, what if we tank? I could also put the buy stops here. I'll put the hedge on just to show you I'm not really here. I'm gonna do all these. Here is this is about 2 or 3 pips away from current price. This was written for a broker that has a fixed spread, and it's all I can do is get in 2 to 3 pips away. So this is ultimate. This one's 3 pips away. Ultimate confirmation entry, mechanical, and I'm buying at the bottom of the 15-minute range. So in my opinion, I am closer into the fair value of the half hour, right? I could see if we take out this now, so I have a real goober entry. And if we keep tanking, I'm also protecting my profits. So on the 1-hour chart, we have low volatility. Yes, I can put hedges on here, right? So if it makes you feel better, so it's about feelings. Do you feel like you don't want to decide, wait for the market to simmer down, simmer down? Okay, there's no simmer down entries. The only simmer down entries here. You could have put a hedge on here. You would have trapped short a little bit, but you made it up for an long side. You got to have targets. This is 42 pips with a 16 pip stop for 12 hours. Okay, you're committing here. This is like getting married with a prenup. You cannot run that in the United States. It's not that they don't like it. It's illegal. It's not that brokers kind of are crazy about it. No, it's fucking illegal. So you have to be a market trader and a limit trader. Also, you can't hedge that either. You need two accounts. Very complicated, very daunting task. Of course, that's and it's just the shit spreads. But hey, if you're a swing trader in the United States, you can make a living, right? Because you could just have two accounts. You're like buying. In fact, what you could do is you could hedge. See, right now the correlation isn't there. Everything's going up. You can't use this argument, the dollar argument, right? This looks just like the British pound right now, for God's sakes. What the fuck is going on? Why correlations don't work. Here is a prime example, right? Get it? Look at this. They're both screaming up. They look like they're both going nuts. Like we want to go after this area. This is going to be where the seller window is for me. I could lay a whole scheme of sell limits in there. But then I can't babysit. I can't be staring at that. I'd have to have another computer to stare at that shit to see what's going on. Do I want to scalp out if we come up to here and bounce back? Yeah, I got to cash out. If the whole thing, if we fill this big array and it comes back to here, I'm getting out. I'm going to free up the margin too. 28 pairs, you're going to spread your margin all over the planet like that? This should be going up, but it's not. See, they trap these guys. See that? It might eventually go up, but I talked about this yesterday. The sell limits for the scoop, the scalpers are winning. Double top. They're just going to fuck people. And if you think you're going to take, this is the thing, no nonsense is trying to pull people along down the road of every instrument. Now we're going to go play drums. Okay, kids, now we're going to play upright bass guitar. We just played violin. I can't play upright bass. Your fingers are too small. Get the fuck out of here, kids. So, what in the fuck? He's going to go take people to trade metals now? We're building it all. Dude, he haven't built one for forex yet. Listen to this fucker shred on piano. Oh, hope that music's not too loud. You probably can't even hear it. People are like, what are you talking about? Keith, are you there? I hope there's music behind me because otherwise people will be like, dude, whatever you're taking, you gotta cut back. He's playing standards. I got Georgia on my mind. Aren't you selling gold here? I'm getting a signal. Anyways, I don't know what to say. I'm waiting. Coming to the top of the hour again. We're in. And I got my goober buy stops in. I'm not going to press that button again. If I press it, I'm going to become a turtle trader. You'd have to look up that entry technique where you just keep putting buy stops above. You buy high, sell higher. So you're either going to buy low. Here's the other strategy. Buy low on a limit, sell high. Sell here. Buy here, sell here. This is your exit. If you buy down, you got to get on something here. You also probably want to get on stuff along the way. Especially if you buy here. You're going to buy more here than you buy on the way to here. That's my other limit system. You don't have a choice. If you're going to do that system, that's how that system looks. The other one is to trade the market. So I have 3 systems. Stop entry. Confirm on entry. Buy at the market because it's down. If you buy here with a tight stop, they stopped you out. So if you buy here, also my strategy is running multiple strategies, at least 2 at a time. Because if I buy here at the market, right? If I buy at the market here, and I got limits here, don't forget. If I didn't cash out by the end of the hour on something, I'm going to get stopped out. But I'm going to limit it in because I still have pending limits here for the next 12 hours. I have more limits here than I have here. See how that works? You martingale in here, you buy heavy here. The market's telling you right there, that wick low. This is the limit strategy. This is the market maker strategy. This is liquidity entry strategy. It's all the same thing. There's no difference. Buy a 1K, buy a 2K, buy a 3, buy a 4, buy a 5, buy an 8, buy a 10, buy a 9. Never filled on the 9, never filled on the 11, never filled on the 40K. Here you're buying 50K. And if these are all 1Ks, you are in a 50K with a master stop down here. That's what I'm saying. Limit strategy. Set it and forget it. What is the weakness of that system? What if it keeps crushing down? Another problem with that system? What's the reason why it's fragile? Well, what if I buy here all the way down, it goes up here, and I cash out? Yeah, that's right. You got to come in and do the same fucking thing. More buy limits. So you can gobble this smash. But in the meantime, on top of that, this is the 1 hour chart. This is quite a bit of volatility here. So either you sell at the market here, buy stop, sell stop. You sell one at the market, you add on a stop confirmation, you write it down into your limits. How do you have that sized? So yeah, I could sell here now with limits below me. Or I can let the market prove me right. This is the Alexander Elder strategy, technique. Buy stops. Buy stops. I guess you can barely hear Keith. I don't know. Maybe I don't trust these meters. I can hear him. He's shut in the background here barely. I'm very far away from my stop entries. I'm lasting from 8 hours to 2 hours to 12. Also, if you want this to be the this at the bottom, you have to put a 0 in front of that 2. You have to force the list to go like this. When you are inside of this folder, inside of the actual data folder, the order is different because the treatment is different as far as what is first. So you kind of have to trial and error. You set this up, and if you don't like the order, when you go back into there, you got to see how the computer sees it. Because these aren't really file. This navigator is not Windows Explorer. It has a different system of filing. You know, what's going to be on the head. Also, in the favorites, you cannot double click. Another thing, everything runs here in common, but if you drag and drop this, add to favorites, if I double click this, it is not going to execute. If I drag and drop it, it will. If I double click here, it's going to try to edit. So be aware of the fact that if it takes a while for your editor to come up and you're scalping, or you're chasing the market on a very short time frame, look at this load time here. You're trapped. Actually, you can't even get it. You can't go to commons until that's done loading, I think. It has to complete that task. MT4 is pretty crude, but that's the robustness that it is crude. So market scalp, these are all buys. There's the hedges. Now, another thing is, even though this is a symmetrical hedge, you still have the possibility of intervening on this by deleting these because you think it's going up. Maybe you don't want to do that. You want to leave these down here to stop the bleeding. If the market should go against you, that's what money management's about, is to stop, to slow down, cushion the blow. It's almost the top of the hour. So I'm going to get a signal here on the 1 hour chart, possibly. We're slightly down. I will buy at the market. Just to be fair, I buy a little bit at the market. But since I'm buying one case all day long, it's kind of like a hedge. I mean, I have to build a position in Asia here. I think that's, when the market's quiet, it's time to think about what trade plans would work in a quiet market as opposed to a loud market, a slamming up and down market. The slamming market, the market orders work. I mean, at the end of the hour, if it's screaming up and I sell at the market, granted, if I sell here at the market because it's screaming up and here, I got to think that if it went up 50 pips, I better put maybe a 50 pip stop. And just a rule of thumb, you don't have to. You could put a 20, a 30, you could have all these things, but what is it if you lose $10, you know? If you lose $10, is this a problem, you know? Here, so I would buy that right now at the top of the hour. We're about to complete, and I think everybody's itching for this thing to complete the final wave for the week so we can all go home. You know. Okay, we got, so there's 5 seconds between candles here. Notice this candle's going to close 5 seconds before the top of the hour, so the new one begins right now. Boom. Right? So 5 seconds before the top of the hour, we buy at the market. Here, let's chase it before it breaks out the top into our goober stop entries. Let's load up. Get in like whatever here. Like 10 more K. 10 more K. If you're going to trade 300K, you can afford to buy 10K just here and just go, you know what, these are my tightest stops. 5 pips to make 12. 5 to make 14. So I'm going to go all in. 7 o'clock. Yeah, they could bum rush me and smash it. And if that's the case, what I'm also going to do is run all 3 strategies right now. Behold. Limits. I got at the market heavy. I'm also buying if it smashes down. Well, why would you buy this? Why don't you just use your stop loss and honor your stop loss? Because I don't trade like that. I don't want to commit to one. Nah, not going to do it. I'll buy at the market. I had a script that would buy at the market, throw limits in, but then I thought, no, I want to control these 3 modes. Stop, limit, market. I'll say it again. Market orders executed at the end of the time frame. I'm going to go against the market. At the market. I am. You don't have to. You can be no nonsense and go confirmation, bullish candle, you're above the baseline, right? I think we know where no nonsense's baseline is on this 1 hour chart. Right, that's the baseline. As soon as this went up, moving averages from 5 to 40 were perked up. The 200 moving average is down. Do we really have to see that to know that? You probably would if you've never seen a 200 period moving average or 100. It looks like this right now against a 1 hour chart. And people make harebrained videos like, I think that's why no nonsense came into being, is people would say dumb shit like, well, let's go 100 period moving, let's sell. Oh, we got stopped out. Yeah, that's why a 5 period moving average is going to give you more entries. Here's maybe the 5 period moving average, but you know, people say 20 EMA, that's what the banks use. Come on. Are you fucking kidding me? All the banks are using it? Every bank Well, you think the big banks aren't trading against each other? No. That would never happen. Go watch an old movie where these guys in Japan are trading against the guys in Britain they're trying to psych each other out. No, the banks aren't trading against each other. And these aren't cross pairs. This isn't the euro dollar. There's no overbought, oversold here. These aren't real things. Only gold can be overbought and oversold because there's real supply and demand. You know, there's gold mines. Well, we have the central banks. And apparently, people are doing commerce. No nonsense doesn't realize that there's an order imbalance. Like if you're going to go buy something in Europe, you're going to show up with dollars. No, you probably show up with euro dollars, right? If you want to make a deal in Europe. I wonder why there is a euro dollar. Why don't they just make the whole planet dollar? And the argument from, oh, well, this isn't real money, it's fiat money. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trading price fluctuations on an MT4 platform. Get out of here. God, the guy that wanted to hear me get angry, man, I'm just getting more pissed off the more I think about it. The more that I review this in my mind. But thanks for asking about the strategy. So I get pissed off. I know people always say, what's your strategy? I thought I was spelling it out. I mean, maybe if I just keep saying the word strategy like impeachment, maybe people will, I kind of agree with your strategy now after all. I mean you're losing money, but if you keep saying the word, I'm triggered. I'm buying into it. Honey, I think these fossils, these antique fossils is the way to go. Yeah, that's a ticket. I hope this guy's catalog's not fake. So if you looked at this thing, it was called, these guys were able to con people into thinking that the artwork was real. The guy was a genius. He had like fake catalogs. He goes, yeah, that's a Picasso. Look in this fucking book here, dumb shit. And he had it all looking like all patinaed out like it was a vintage book. Who would make this stuff up? He's obviously got, look, he's got one of Picasso's, oh, that was Van Gogh. I was going to say he's got a piece of Van Gogh's ear here. He must know the guy. It was Chagall and all this stuff they were copying. Oh, I should have bought that. Okay, so I'm loaded up heavily at the market. Fear of missing out. And I'm going to put my buy limits in. Some anger trade now. Just double clicking the shit out of this thing. 8 hours. 5 minutes after the top. Look at the 5-minute traders just... Okay, so I'm getting another signal to buy here. I like that one too. This guy was doing a video, I was watching a simple Renko trading strategy. I'm going to put out to my subscribers out there and putting out a buy signal. I would never do that to somebody. They'd be like, I got in, like you said. I go, where'd you get in? Well, I just finally got to the platform. And okay. All right. Well, what do I do now? I'm in a losing trade. Yeah, you should pay for that, I suppose. I mean, it's be like, how about the relationship hotline? I don't know, I think she's pregnant. We had so much fun, though. I mean, I would say, well, sir, is her family dead? Keep her. No in-laws to worry about. It's a keeper. Take her to rehab. Yeah, a dating hotline can help you. What's your strategy for having fun without getting in trouble? Stay home. Find a high-quality porn site. Next caller. Next caller. The Beaver Mentorship Program. How to stay out of trouble. Rent. Just rent. Well, I don't know. My religion's kind of, we're Baptists. We're not supposed to rent beaver. It's time to turn atheists on. Look at your bank account. I don't know. Let's move to Hong Kong, man, and rescue one of these hot fucking wannabe capitalists. That's my next trade plan. Get a citizenship in Hong Kong, trade your fucking ass off, get the highest end brokers, and just be like, yeah, be an affiliate for my hot Asian Pam account. I'm a hot Asian prop house Pam account. It's a good thing you done pulling that trigger. These are all my impulsive trades here. Those are supposed to be black arrows on my market orders, by the way. Black is the new green. Buy it here. Wait for it. I'm going to put limits in. No more hedges. Oh, maybe a hedge. Yeah, it's down. Let's put a hedge on again. Let's do this hedge thing. Let's do this. 42 pips there on the outlier. I made this 12-hour have a wider stop because the 2-hour script really is a scalp. This is a 6-pip stop to make 16, so it makes sense. This could be 12 hours with a 6-pip stop, but we're probably going to get kicked out of that. So why the wider stop with a longer expiration? Because if I start loading up that 12-hour thing here, and imagine this is an hourly chart, it's not, but imagine it is, that I'm more likely to survive this. My stops are far apart, so I get filled on that leg, and I don't get trapped. Because here I'm asking to get trapped in a way. I have such a tight stop, I'm asking to get kicked out. It looks like a buy at the market here on the 5-minute in 1 second. I got my finger on the trigger. Some guy said he was afraid to pull the trigger. Not at 70 cents risk, you don't. You know. You got 10 cent here on a 1K for the spread. 10 cents for the spread and commissions below 10 cents here. Here's a dollar stop. I'd say this 7-pip stop is you're risking $1 here if the spread's 3. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You can make this a tighter stop. You can make this a 3-pip stop. When it's appropriate, it's really what's appropriate with the conditions you're in. On this chart here, it looks really like if this was a 4-hour chart and you had that 12-hour hedge in, you see how that would play out? You have the buy stops here, and you're trapped a little bit, but you fill the sell stops, and if your take profit is into this void, and meanwhile I would still have to have the limits down here, because I don't like the idea of thinking that I'm going to make a living from trading breakouts without saying, the ride's over. Besides, my market orders, I'm handing off into my market strategy, so it's a blend of strategies. I don't have a strategy. I have 2 strategies, but I'm actually weaving in and out of each strategy right here. Yeah, a little buy at the market, some limits. Okay, put some confirmation buy stops in. All right. Now, the problem is going to be if you overtrade all 3 of those. Every time you do the market order means that you can you're not allowed to put in another ticket if you're trying to keep yourself at 80K. You're like, we gotta wait for this to complete. I've either got to get stopped out of what I'm in and limited into something that's pending. So if this gets stopped out here tight and I let the account go flat and the limits come in, that's different than buying here with a 100-pip stop and adding in limits here. That's a trooper. If you're doing that, you're like, dude, I know we're going up. Or you don't mind risking 100 pips, $10 on each trigger pull. You buy here at the market with a 100 pip stop. Then you put limits in. That keeps moving. Okay, you buy here at the market, 100 pip stop, put limits in. So the magic is you got 12-hour limits here, 8-hour limits here, and you're expecting a rate of change like this. So if you had weekly limits here to sell, as this went screaming up today, you've got the 2-hour, the 4-hour, the 6, the 8, the 12. The weeklies are up at the top. The weeklies got tagged, and it pulled back, and you made money. And this, if the market could get there fast enough to stampede, so you're also trying to gauge. You're trying to gauge that momentum, because this expiration is one day. Then you're saying, if we can get up here by the end of the day, I want to get in up here. But on the way to there, I want to get in here. If we can make it there in 8 hours, so you're. If you, this is Sunday night here. You could have put this whole thing in. Now here, a Sunday night, this would have to last all day, because you otherwise you got to pull the trigger here on the 4-hour tickets. So that's why, as this is happening, you're here, the line of scrimmage. You know this is the Soros entry. He put his buy stop there last night. I was telling everybody, you know, he's an idiot. He gets in here, and it's screaming up. Well, when you're sitting there, and I did it last night, I put in some sell limits. I have a linear entry, 10 pips per hour limits here at the bottom of the rack. This is my beginning of building this. You're welcome to build it if you're a bear. You take this, these are also kind of just dumb shit break-even scalps. I will sell 10 pips above me for an hour right now. See that? The market has to get up there, and I've created my own auction. 10 pips every hour. 2 hours, 20 pips north. 3 hours, 30 pips north. 20 pips stop, 20 pip take profit. There you go. Now, you can keep writing these. Here's the aggressive one. 15 minutes, 5 pips above. 30 minutes, 20 pips above. That's like a news script. I'm asking the market to rocket up in 30 minutes, tag the 20 pips above me, never go 30 above, come back 10. They're break-even scalps, in my opinion. You could build off of this. You could build. I don't think there's a limit. I've had literally 500 to 1,000 scripts in the M24 platform inside a Navigator. Plus, inside of each folder, once you go to, it's really what is going to fit you. Because if you want to trade these no-nonsense confirmation entries, hedge, no-nonsense hedge, right? Know when that strategy is going to work. It could work in a screaming market. Amazingly, that would work here, but if you're going to get in 3 pips tight, there could be chop inside this candle that you can't see. It looks like a good idea, and that's what looks like to me like Ryan Brown's system was doing, is chasing into that move and saying, look, I made money. But the problem is that when the market does this shit, they're going to blow you up. You chase into this move, they fuck you. You chase, they rape you. Now here's the rape. You buy into this, uh-oh. You buy into this, uh-oh. Confirmation traders get burned. Market makers, supposedly, what they call people that buy here with a grid of limits, they're cleaning up. I said it before, I'll say it again. 80% range, 20% trend. So we have to range out, and I can trade this range tonight. I could cash out everything here and go flat and call it a week and just stop trading and just forget it. Fuck tomorrow. That's another reason why people say it's don't give back Friday, because Friday can just be meandering and bullshit. The trade this week was the scream through this window. I said this would be fierce because the vacuum goes deep back. The longer the vacuum, the fiercer the move. So you gotta find some little pocket. There's a guy sent me an email. Hey man, I gotta make money. It's not gonna be easy. If you're gonna trade too big per ticket, you can't afford. You gotta be so right about those trades. You can't run multiple strategies. You can't afford it. You can't be putting a buy stop on a 10K here. Okay, if you got 50 grand in the account, but if you got 50 grand in the account, are you trying to make 50 grand a year? That wouldn't be hard to do. If you got 100 grand in the account, you're trying to make 50 grand a year? Yeah. You're still going to have drawdowns of 10 grand. Maybe you make 100 grand in 1 month, and next month you lose 50 grand, and next month you make 100 grand. And in a year you're up about 200 grand, but you're like, dude, I fucking got killed this year. I think people are going to think that. They're like, I shouldn't have done that other trade. But I'm making it so that anybody can trade it. If you like to trade at the market, build a market strategy. It's up, you sell. It's down, you buy. It's how much it's up. If it's up 100 pips, I'm selling with a 100 pip stop as a rule of thumb. So it should be wide open season for anybody to, at the market's the obvious guaranteed entry. At the end of the day, you could do the no nonsense way. You only trade at the end of the day, but for God's sakes, put a goddamn trade on, people. Stop it with the I'm waiting for my baseline to set up with my fucking ATR 1% of this. It just doesn't. It's not helping. It's like saying I will not play guitar until I have Paul Reed Smith and a Marshall amp. No, you play the guitar that's in your hands. If it's got, I was stranded in Israel for 6 weeks, not really, went on there on vacation. And all I had was a 3-string guitar. And I don't even think they were the right strings for that slot. Oh, we got to play this thing to death. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die from boredom. I'm in the desert, drinking Coca-Cola. That was all they had. They said, well, you know what? We don't have, the water's dangerous. Drink Coke. Holy fuck, I can't believe it didn't blow up my pancreas on that. Luckily, I was only I think it was 18 years old. So I could survive. The one girl, they sent her home. I don't think she wanted to drink the Coke. They sent her home from heat stroke. And you wouldn't sweat in the desert. You couldn't even tell you were sweating. You were just dehydrated. You didn't even know it. This girl, beautiful girl, and she had big breasts. And she came right out and said immediately, yeah, you think my breasts are big? You should have seen before I had them reduced. We were like, wow. Yeah, she was telling us the surgery that I think she said she was awake and or something, because she said something about that. Well, after the surgery, they told her, yeah, it was like 460 grams we took out of each side. Because they don't want to just take it out of one side, And she said that, and she was only like 18 years old, and she said she had back problems. That's why she had them reduced, not because people were hitting on her, is because she had back problems. It was straining her back to lean. They were pulling on her torso. So they sent her home, and man, she was wealthy. She lived in a house that was so big that when her parents got divorced, they had to close a wing. They couldn't afford to heat it. This thing had like 25 rooms. Insane. Yeah, that girl, her breasts. She eventually became a judge. I think her parents were attorneys. What happened to my fucking music? These motherfuckers. How dare they? How dare you? Okay, maybe I should go check in on the. I can't play my music. Here, we were just. Jared, we should be going to the next suggestion by. Paused? What the fuck? What'd you pause it for, you ass fucks? Oh, we're gonna start over? YouTube's so fucked. Oh, this may be part one. I was watching part two. Anyways, this is my hightail link I'm putting in here. Did I talk about the clock X? That's my clock. This is. God, her breasts were big. And she has a small body, so she was only like 5'2". So they looked really big. You know, and some 6-foot babe, it'd been like, who would know? Who would notice? But yeah, she and so the one girl I was with on the trip said something like, "Aren't you jealous?" She's like, "No, she's too high maintenance. She's a judge. Now she's sitting there with her big breasts judging people. Because she's wearing a robe to hide it now. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the story of that. She's a judge for the neighborhood she grew up in. Extremely rich people she's judging. So it's okay. You're your peers. Let me just go through this thing. Hopefully when you load this, it's going to have the same order. So if you're in the United States, some people in the United States, these $10 drops are kind of a cool thing. Inside of here you'll see these are not double clicks. These are precision drops that you're risking $10. So these are not 1Ks necessarily. So inside of here I have the mostly buys. There are some sells, but you'd have to build the sells yourself. What these are, they're labeled with a stop and a take profit and the time expiration. And what that's going to be is if you place the drop above price, it is a buy stop. If you place it below, it's a buy limit, but it's a buy. And I have a 10 pip stop on a 10K in there, I think, which is risking $10. Not exactly. Got to put the spread and commissions in. Then I have it set so I have a 50 pip stop and a 2K, I think it's a 34 pip stop. There's your Fibonacci and a 3K and on and on. 25 pip stop is a 4K, $10 risk. Now the profit is from break even to double your money. Now you can write all that yourself, and it's easy to edit. You open up the script, you can see deliberately in the code. Anything that's in quotations in the code is the comments section, which if you turn on the terminal comments, inside terminal, you turn on comments, you'll see the comment of that script if you want to keep track of that. So if you're in the United States, but you cannot put a sell limit in with your buy limit, you can only trade one direction. Another reason for the one direction trading, right? You know, for you to hedge stocks in the United States, you need for you to short stocks in the United States, you need to trade on margin. You're selling something you don't own. So I traded stocks for, penny stocks. I never shorted them. I just buy. So just buying is easy. And if you have another account in the same brokerage firm or a different broker in the United States, it's like, what, 2 brokers left in the United States? And there's also a $5 drop in here, but that's tighter. You can write whatever you want to call it, but that's as people like this, this is all not double click. This here, buy market. Just what it says, buy at the market, 100 pips stop, 100 pip take profit. You can also make that so it buys 10K at the market on 1Ks with the same stop or different stops. That is a double click. That's also a drag and drop, but it's not going to matter where you drop it because it's going to execute at the market. What I call cloud trading is my histogram moving average. It's just like a cloud. It's like a Renko, so to speak. Renko's doing a tick bar, but this is like, it looks like it in a way. It's smooth Akinashi is what it is. It's Akinashi smooth, but I'm smoothing it with 4 modes: linear weighted, smooth, simple, and exponential. Although the code does have a bug in there, you have to open up each and double check, make sure each indicator says price instead of mode. Where you see the word mode, you have to change it to price. Then I have my EA. I don't even know what's in that. Trade at your own risk. Moving down. We have the latest incantation is this. Now that's what I'm running right now, is this on the tablet. September 12th, I decided I'm going to take that and upload not current thing. We still have the possible buggy stuff inside. This is the whole kit and caboodle. Inside here are indicators, scripts, but no templates. Templates live on the root file before you see the MT4 folder. Templates are inside of the root of the brokerage firm that has your, I think, the hotkeys, configs, profiles maybe even. Now this is where I have the script tester, which what this does is it's an EA that you can test on data, and it's an EA that will run in real time also. I just call it the script tester because these are EAs that will allow me to trade buy at the market, buy in stops, buy in limits. I primarily use it for the limits because it'll throw out arrays every hour, and I can make it so that the script lasts 4 hours. I can see what that's going to look like, and it can make a tremendous amount of money if your broker allows you to run a god amount of limits. Because if the limits last all week, I back tested this where you're buying 100 pip deep grids above and below. Even from one direction it kind of makes money, but you're putting in, say, 50K of limits every 8 hours that last all week. So that adds up to a lot of tickets. And so every 8 hours you're stacking more, and you have to wait for 5 days to go by. I think it's actually literally, counting days, 7 days. It counts 7 days like a week. Because your daily scripts last 24 hours. It's not like, well, at the end of the day they delete. No, they're there. So conservatively, if you built a limit grid that's going to, there is no holy grail, because these have to fit. The British pound is ripping 300 pips in one day. So don't step in front of it with 20 deep limits that are standard lots and expect to make money from sell high buy low. It's not that. It's not like that, right? Your SUV can't go on the Indy 500 track and survive the turns. Your center of gravity's too high. It's a bad fit. So down here, okay, so here also I've got the pure indicators here, and those may be unbugged. One of these doesn't have the flaw, and I should probably hunt it down. But see, I don't just. Okay, this is a hard scalp. These are limits. I don't even know what's in there. I know some of this stuff that's in here. So there's things I know about what I loaded here, things I don't. And I know this is the most recent here. I don't know why Hightail loads in the way they do. I don't know if it's alphabetical. I don't know how. It looks alphabetical now that I look at it. Those $10 drops would come in before. Yeah, it's alphabetical. So we have the other rack down here is going to be more test, script test, or different variations. Naturally, you know. It's like when you're writing songs. You write 100 songs and 30 songs are good, and you got 2 hit songs and you retire. Scripts, October. Apparently I was trying to keep track of those. Now these could just be all scripts. I don't think there's any. When it says tester, it means EA. Here is the sell at the market with the giant wide stop. It's a simple market order script. More templates. You need the indicators to talk to the templates. Here's the hedge, scalp EA. Now this is buy stop, sell stop. There's a comment here I didn't even look at. I don't keep track of this stuff very well, I don't think. View the comment. Okay, and the comment is they liked it. Oh, wait. Thank you, Simpleton. I'm going to nominate for a Nobel Belt Prize trading robots. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe it's making money. Okay, so yeah, don't put me in there with Obama's Nobel Peace Prize for starting wars. Let me go back to the rack here. Oh shit! I might have to start at the top now. Son of a bitch. It's not like the real world, people. This digital domain is torture. What did I say? Where were we? Okay, Ticket Launch is my first version of that. I called it Ticket Launch. That's still Script Tester. Here's a wide hard robot. Here is the $5 drops. There's 3 comments there. Tighter stops. But it's about dollars, so you can trade heavier. You just have a tighter. The 1K is a 50 pip stop, so you have to. Right, but you can still do the. Since you have a 50 pip stop, now you have a 25 pip stop with the 2K, right? Instead of the 4K with a 25 pip stop with $10, right? It's a dollar risk. Let's see what the comments are here. I would like to know how to use this indicator. Well, it's actually a trade plan. It's not an indicator. Why does it keep doing that shit? We're gonna go gray for you. No, don't. They are orders sized to risk $5 drag and drop. You're correct, sir. Oh, he's answering his question. Oh, that's me. Fuck. Oh, see? Gotta stop doing drugs. You'll need to put them in your MT4 scripts folder. Your data for almost need to turn the automated trading on. Test on demo first. Okay, unfortunately you cannot trust these. Oh yeah, test on a demo, but you can't run strategy tester and test them. Unfortunately. Now that would be amazing. If I could do that, I'd be like, oh yeah, now we're talking. Let's get back to the master file here. Come on, people. Oh, fuck. This computer is not the fastest computer on the planet. I'm just going to say it straight out. And I don't even know how to direct anybody to this site because this is just called Spaces. These are other files that I uploaded also. Okay. So the problem is that I can't figure out the structure of this hightail bullshit. So I just started dropping everything in this upper left-hand one. Because I've got scripts galore in here, right? I've got a 1 hour board. This is a breakout bot. This is an ATR bot that I found for free and I was able to tune up. And I honestly don't know. I don't know how to direct somebody to that. Look, there's people. So the reason there's 55 followers is there's 55 followers on that. So I started dumping stuff into that one. You see what I mean? So what I'd have to do is click on this and share the link to this exact thing here. This, you're probably going to need a fixed pip broker to run these breakouts. It is the strategy I'm talking about, the hedge breakout. You'd have to take off the sell leg on that. Force the robot to trade one direction only in the United States. Here's some older ones. See, there's people following that, and I don't know how to, because I created links to these in videos once, you know. More $5 drops. The doji is supposed to be a doji bot, and this is docs. I don't know what that is. Documents. This could be like videos on how to. I've got spreadsheet software, all sorts of. Dude, I went so deep on this shit. You have no idea. I mean, spreadsheets to see what these scripts look like. I did a video. If you look up trade plans in my YouTube channel, do a search for trade plans. It's the deep dive into the unsexy part of spreadsheets. Well, they looked sexy after I saw. I'd never done spreadsheets in my life. I don't even know what a cell is. I thought that was where they lock people up. So I was really lost there. So the journey, and I wanted to say before I started this recording, actually, I wanted to say that really the guy that said he was computer illiterate, what I'm doing is more about knowing how to run a computer and how to do all this shit on MT4 than it is about trading. Because if you think about sitting in your electric chair, sitting in your chair and deciding, you know, I think I'll buy some gold today. I'm going to call my buddy who owns a gold company, or I'm going to call William Defoe from Knots Landing. Is it Dynasty? I don't know. I'm going to call Knots Landing and get hold of William Defoe, and I'm going to buy some more gold. That's an investment trade also, but since I'm a computer geek to some degree, apparently not enough to keep up with Windows 10 hidden. When Windows asked me if I wanted to see the hidden files, I knew we had a problem. Okay, that was past Windows 3.1. I knew we had a problem. Do you want to see the hidden files? Well, let's see. I bought the computer. Could I see the hidden files? Can I see the hard drives before you bleach bit them? No, we're going to take a hammer to the chips. Sorry. I don't know how to create it. Maybe you can go to the master. I've never navigated because I can't see it from the non-login person's view. Maybe I can't. I don't know. If you know how to do it. See, right now I'm in a file called Hightail All Spaces. There's no designation that it's MySpace. The direct link to that big file. See, there's people. I gotta go through this at some point. Look at the comments and stuff. Here's day drops. Now these last all day. Here's a limit cloud. I think I might have done videos where I put this in the link of the video, and that's the only reason there even is 7 followers in here. Honestly, I mean, it's really. You think you know how to run a computer, and then you lose your password, and you're all just pissed off. Now here I do have pictures of the sizing, and I did a video about this. Look at this, just to give you an idea of what it means to kind of spread the risk. Here's where the spreadsheet hell is, and I think I have a link to the software I'm using out of Germany that's free. I think I just did a video about this where this is in here. Yeah, if you had a $20, so this is what the $20 drops would look like. Or this is like, no, this is like if you traded from a 13K, like if you had available to you 20K, 13K, this is what it looks like. So you don't really have a lot of, you're almost duplicating that trade. I did a whole thing on trade, this sizing thing. So the most dramatic thing is to go from a 1K to a 2K. You just doubled your, when you start to lose the edge here, so here's a $20 risk. You have a 200 pip stop, 100 pip stop. Now you can trade a 2K, a 3K, a 4K, a 5K. This is the size you're trading. When you trade a 5K, once you get up to really big, it just fades out. Your leverage is your advantage in sizing. The biggest dramatic thing is here. Right, this is the biggest hole, and then there. Once you get here, it's a lot of diminishing returns. What does it matter, right? If you have, now you have to get in with, so you can go from swing trading with the 200, the 150 pip stop. You have a 100 pip stop and a 2K. The 4K is the 50 pip stop. Here, you're talking about scalper's world of like, now you go to the, I'm remembering why I posted this. So this is a spreadsheet did that for me. Gave me that graphic. That's why I did the spreadsheet. Because it spits out the graphic. So if I go to the one that is about how tight a stop, this is when it becomes a problem. The spread becomes an enemy at this point. Here you're trading what does this say? You're trading a 50K and risking $20. If your spread's 2, then you're really up here risking, you just, this is 2 pips away. How much dollar risk can you handle? So if you only handle $20, here is you're in a 20K. You need a 10 pip stop. That's wide. You go up to a 50K here. By the time you get to this end of the chart, you're in a 50K. Your stop needs to tighten up that much. Now, if the spread's 2 pips, you're screwed. This is presupposing 0 spread and commissions. So right here is like your sweet spot, and then here it's like, uh-oh. Why are you going to trade a 48K on a ticket? This is the reality of sizing. This guy won't shut up. He's bragging about his keyboard playing. What else? Got all these ranges on here. What's the most flexible? Now here's if you're going to trade 3K straight out. 3K to 12K. See how much more breathing room this is? You're trading 12K here. You need a 20 pip stop. In a 4K, risking $20, you can put a nice healthy 68 pip stop in that. So that was my point of that. Looking at risk from dollars, $20 risk. $20 on every ticket here. You're getting your 20 pip stop here all the way to here on the 4K. Keeping your sight. But this is a lot better than... Because when you get to 100K, like you're just splitting hairs here. It's stupid. Better to put 2 tickets in. Let's go back to the... back out of this thing. Yeah, I don't know how to get a root file on this thing to... hopefully you can get to it once you get to this. You can back out. I don't know. Why it doesn't have that at this site? I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. I'm at all spaces. Set up a hightail. Tell me how to do it. I have no idea. Okay, so down at the bottom again. Hotkeys. There are hotkeys that I wrote that are just, I made A1. There's Alt and Control keys. There's 72 hotkeys inside of MetaTrader allows you 72 hotkeys. So the alphabet and the numbers with Control and Alt. 26 plus 26 plus 10 and 10. And 0 is 10 for me on my hotkey system. Script number 10 would be 0. These are pure double clicks in here. Those are hard coded, so the drag and drops you get to pick the price. Here is all just one case. More templates and indicators. I wrote a lot of templates, a lot of crazy templates. I've written more templates, I think, than anything because it's just a really fun thing to do. Get a different visual picture there. This D might mean these are dailies. 1K daily drops, or I don't know what the D is, honestly. Multi-drops. Now this is the limit drop grids. These are grid drops. These are drag and drops that this guy Cleve says he cloned my single drop and made an array. Different spacing, different stops. This makes it so you can swing trade elaborately. You could trade 28 pairs with these, but and it's actually got the dollar risk listed. This is some results of the ATR bot. Here's when you're really just MT4 stuff. Well, that's really precise. There's an EA. More ATR bots, different variations. More stuff. Stop entry system only. H1 scripts in there. People love the scalping. Like 18 people following the scalps. These are very tight stops. Probably market orders. Pull a trigger. Buy a 4K with 3, 4, 5, 6 stop. So I'm thinking about writing scripts for United States. That I'm going to have to think about this because it's very difficult to think about like how the broker's going to treat first in, first out. If you buy at the market, that first stop has to be tight if you have 4 tickets on one click. In a way, that kind of ensures that, because if you just start buying as it's dropping, they're not going to let you get out of that bottom ticket. And they're not going to let you. See, I'm not sure how that runs. That is so fucked. You have no idea. Because if you buy at the market, put a limit below you, like first in, I got to get out of that before. You better write the script as a unified script. You're buying at the market, and you also have trailing limits below you that the account's gonna go flat. Take you out of that 10 pip stop, and you got a limit 15 pips deep. That's what you'd have to do. You'd have to think about the aspect of the sequencing of that, everything you're doing. And can you do that again? In a way, the US system is making it so you have to really just, they're forcing you to trade your plan and plan your trade and trade your plan. They're forcing you to they're forcing you to get stopped out in a way or get profited out in a way before you're allowed to put on more stuff. They're trying to, it's so cute. The cause of it is primarily, I think, they're trying to kill forex trading in the United States because you got these guys in, well, they're not in the pits anymore, but they've shifted over to Scott Trade or whatever. I don't want to get into it. I just get angry thinking about it. I just worked around it. It's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the ultimate, man. It trades on the weekends. If you want to take any of these scripts and make them a Bitcoin script, you're going to have to add 2 zeros. Or maybe 3, I'm not sure. On gold, you're going to have to add at least 1 or 2 zeros, I think. What else do we got here? What just happened? Something just freaked out. The fuck was that? Why did I just lose all that graphics? That's it, I'm pissed off again. I have no idea. And the government just came in and deleted that. I think Janet Yellen is got into a compromise. Powell, they're ganging up on me. Bernanke, they're coming after me. Okay, we're on a high alert. Top of the hour is coming. I better be making money here, people. Okay. Take me to the... Okay, we're going up. Whew, thank God. So I check it every hour. There's no buy signal. If you're a bear, you're going to sell in 4 minutes. If you sell, I want to warn you. We've got this. We got this vacuum, and we've got this vacuum. We fill to here. We cash out on something, my scalps, and sellers will come in here, pull it back likely. I'm not going to sell into this. I'm selling into that. Those are my targets. These greens are my exits. I'm buying the blue, I'm buying the sea green, and I'm selling the dark green or whatever this is. This turquoise. I'm buying the turquoise. Aqua. This is the floor. We got to get above that. This is Asia coming to the top of the hour. Same old, same old. 10 years of this shit. So maybe no nonsense is long here. He's underwater. This is the thing. These guys, I don't know how they're doing it with this stuff. I don't know how they're ignoring this 1 hour chart. Even if you trade end of the day, how can you not look at this structure and tell me this isn't viable? How can you tell me tops don't become bottoms when they do all day long? Here they kind of like, in a sense, we never make it back to this top. But we make it back. We come after this wick here. So you could just, like, that's why I've taken this approach of 1Ks. It's the holy grail is size. Size is the holy grail. Size and frequency. It's not risky. It's not risky to trade small size and low frequency. That's not risky. Risky is jumping in with your life savings without a stop into the commodity market where Mark Douglas will tell you point blank. I like the guy in the audience that says, well, why don't you just get out of the trade? He's like, dude, you can't get out of the trade. You're underwater. There's nothing you can do. You signed a contract. I didn't sign a contract. There's no such thing as a margin call in forex brokers like this. The servers take you out, leave you with $1, leave you with $40, whatever the leverage that you got in at. Leverage is not dangerous to people that can do math. It's only dangerous to people that look at this $10,000 available margin and think that, oh, well, fuck. Well, I'm actually in like a huge position right now, but it doesn't look like it because I'm only invested, according to the Trader's Way chief analyst Wayne Dyer, that I've invested $1,125.50 in the market. No, sorry, that's what they've cordoned off for me to be in this trade. The final price pulse, we need to take out the high of the day into tomorrow. And if they just take it up another 10 pips, I'll be making money. So, like I said, if you needed the money today, you knew where to get out. I said it this morning on the 4-hour chart. You only need one currency pair to trade. There's so much going on in this. There's so much going on from the seller's standpoint too. You could have sold here, sold here. You're up on both trades. How is this not obvious as fuck? How people don't get this shit? Well, yeah, I sold here, but yeah, you got a 10 pip stop, dude. If it's up big, you got to trade with a wide stop. Yeah, you're not going to see your target down here either. Well, how's that going to work? I back tested it, and you can't back test that shit. Well, I can tell you right now, it's not going to work. Because you can't sell every fucking rip up like this, because they're going to keep ripping it up. This is a counter-trend temporary situation. This is contextual. You know this is the top. This is becoming a bottom on the 4-hour structure. How are you missing that? How are you not jumping on this thing? Okay, that's it. So the hour chart's just updated. I can't buy one of my 3 systems says do not buy at the market if it's up at the end of the hour. So I'm not going to buy. I'll let the chasers buy it. My buying's over. I refuse to get trapped. I'm the trapper. I used to get trapped, but now I'm the trapper. Be the ball. Caddyshack. Be the ball. Okay, I'm not going to touch this trade, so I'm let it go. If it should pull back on the half hour, I could buy, but there's no trade on the half hour either. We're going into the vacuum. We will cash out. Sellers are here. Look how my perfect. I have more density of cells here because, yes, I want to go. Last night when we went up, I was only in $400 of margin when we were here. I cashed out that whole ride. Then I came back with the limits. 50% of these, 60% of these are limits. I still got limits pending for 8 hours. So if I have exposure to risk of getting filled on these limits, I wish it would just get the fuck out of draw mode, man. Here's where the limits start. When you see the long, when you see this sticking out, these are unfilled tickets. Unfilled buy limit or unfilled sell stop, I think, unfortunately. And I think I just got filled on my hedge. So how do I know? And I think I might have wrote the word hedge in here. I hope so. Or I have at least the word buy stop on my platform so I can identify how many tickets were filled on hedge. I've been doing this for 2 hours, and I think I'm about to lose my exposure to getting filled on the hedges. So the pendings, the comments are turned on. So look down here. See these stops? These are hedges to sell for 2 hours, 4 hours, and I did write the times on those. You want to double check those comments though. Here's a sell stop from a 4 hour that I have trailing. It's kind of protecting my longs in a way. They have no buy stops. All buy stops were filled on this price pulse. We went up at least 3 pips, and we went into confirmation goober long. And I said I would do that goober trade for the goobers out there. I don't like it so much. I'd rather load up here before the breakout because I think I have half a brain to perceive we could break out here. And I'm going to take that risk. That's the one risk I am taking. I'm going to buy here at the market on pullbacks with a tighter stop so I can get in. Yes, I can put the goober trade in. If I'm going to go sleep, I am going to put the goober trade on because I don't want to babysit it and I might miss that. And I have a fear of missing out using buy stops. So I hope that explains it. I'm going to go out and buy some entertainment food, I think. What I should do here is before I close out, I'm going to get rid of my sell stops. I don't want to get triggered on the sell side. Especially got a 12-hour sell in here somewhere. Another reason not to hedge. Call this fucking work. Brace yourself for this gunshot shit. Did that too fast. I have no exposure to getting trapped on the sell side here in a little bit. So I do some house cleaning maintenance. I don't want to be involved on the short side here. Let them stop me out of my longs. This is another thing. I'm intervening on top of this. I'm using that as a confirmation of buy stop entry now. I'm really not hedging. I'm not hedging anymore. But you can get by in the States. Just put buy limits on the dollar yen. Just go to another currency pair or go sell the dollar yen. Oh, I have one buy stop that hasn't filled yet pending, so I'm going to let that go. Let them trigger me on that. When it's flashing, it means you're 10 pips from fill. Okay, now we can see, are we making any money on our buy stops? Go up to the comments. If you go by comment, click by comment, buy stop should be at the bottom here. Okay, here we go. Buy stops are filled. We're up a little bit, 3 cents, right? The commission's built into this loss right here. No cash outs. I know my first cash out on the hedge is about 10 pips maybe. Look at all the fills on that. Look at all the confirmation fills on that. About 20K filled on confirmation goobers. Okay, the sellers are going to start coming in here, and hopefully we're cashing out of something. We're about to take profits worth 10 pips. We're going to cash out in this window, cash out, cash out. A long way from taking out this wick tip here. There's sellers up there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to looking at my total account. See, we picked up some buy stops. We added to the margin. We're $50 more margin on buy stop goober entries there. By 9:30, I want to be out of something, and I want to be breaking into this shelf here. Liquidity zone. Demand zone, supply zone, doesn't matter what you call it. I like to call it the vacuum because it's a giant sucking sound. I think the fuel, to me, price vacuum is a real thing. Mark Douglas talked about a price vacuum and how this guy almost took down the whole exchange and the clearinghouse. Took down the clearinghouse being on the wrong setup. He never traded that big in his life. He's in the bond market. And he almost destroyed the thing. So to me, this vacuum was filled, and all the selling that took place there comes back. And now the new vacuum is forming below us here. I wish this was one thing about TradeStation, it stayed in draw mode. I don't know how to make, or FXCM, you could just go like this and just keep. I gotta come back here and keep grabbing this fucking thing. I wish it would just stay in draw mode if there was a setting like that. Under objects, maybe in tools, I never. You think you know it all. Can I stay in? No, I can't just keep having that object. You can create the sensitivity to drag and drop. It just should be a 0. Another reason I'm having a hard time grabbing this shit. Or you can have it be selected to edit after creation. That might be a good idea. Single mouse click is too sticky. I make it so it's double click to show properties. I don't want to see that. It takes up too much real estate on the screen. Once again, it's backing off a little bit here. So it's really what wick we're going to hunt down here. Are we hunting the half-hour stops? I think we just hunted the bear's half-hour stop here, so we could see some selling come in off of this. Right there. It's a very tall situation here, but the first sellers, scalpers, are selling that right now, and they want to pull it back to here or here and cash out, and they might get their trade. But is this going to be just too much? And I wouldn't judge that. That's why I'm never going to be trading 5 standard lots on this setup. That's the whole problem I have with the no-nonsense approach, is that he has a fragile approach. He's a one-trick pony. And when people say it's the no-nonsense way, okay, you can have that way, but dude, there's 128 other ways out there. There's blends. There's everything. Don't forget the astrological end of the month trade for swing traders. Could we be turning at the end of the month? No. No way. Gold's not really holding that, but look at this reversal here. You'll see it in Bitcoin, though. Here's an end of the month reversal. Here's a start the month, end the month. Start the month, end the month down. See, by the end of the month, look at this ranging on gold. And he's going to build an algo for gold. Oh my God, he's got a better chance of spitting in the ocean to raise the fucking tide. You want to learn something about here, the market? People are buying gold because it's down today. Double bottom in gold. Yeah, you're buying. Scalpers have probably had their fun, possibly. Think in probabilities. So I'm taking everything I learned from Mark Douglas, everything I've learned over the years, and putting it into this system I have, this approach. Mark Douglas said, do 20 trades and see how you're doing. Don't just do one trade. Okay. You know, if it only takes one guy to mess up my trade, well, I got a lot of trades, so you know what? You're gonna mess up. I got a fleet of cars, dude. I got army ants. I'm not tied to one outcome. I'm not going to dial into if you're running a Gartley scanner, you're trying to trade one big ticket. Who's putting on a 1K? Who's spending that much time to drill down for a 1K entry? So why are they doing that? I mean, that is how people start out in this thing. And then you listen to Mark Douglas and you think, well, wait a minute, based on what he's saying, maybe I should trade all different kinds of things, different approaches. It's the only way I can see to do it, because it's just, you don't know. You can't create a guaranteed system. So you have to work around what's there. And so market will also tell you somebody has to bid it up for you to make money. Somebody has to, it has to go higher. But if you're buying a confirmation entry, which right now I'm getting killed on these entries, I can see I'm trapped here on the euro. Looking at the tick chart. Okay, so maybe I should have bought lower. Yes, but that's counterintuitive. People don't want to buy low. What if it keeps going down? You know what? Don't trade. Go get a certainty job. Be a Walmart greeter. Do something consistent. I mean, you don't have to trade, man. If you're risk adverse, if you're afraid of making a mistake, if you're afraid of looking like an idiot, they say dance like nobody's watching. Well, trade like it's fake money. Because in the end, your happiness isn't going to come from how much money you have. And this whole thing about, oh, I have a Ferrari and I have wads of money. Yeah, but you're still an asshole. That hasn't changed. You're still completely out of your fucking mind. But look, I mean, that's forex lifestyle, guys. I know people get how glamorous. I mean, I don't have to get a prop house of hookers. I can just fucking get a laptop and trade in my limo. Some guy exposed that guy, and then the guy goes, "Yeah, of course I rented a limo. What do you think? I'm stupid? I'm broke. I'm living with my parents." He's living with his parents. That guy, the lifestyle forex guy with the Ferrari, he says he's putting a trade on. Look, I just made $1 million. At least the Pip Society guy's really trading a real account. He's killing it. Pip Society's killing it. Him and Samurai Traders, I think. He's not as... okay. I think the brothers got it when it comes to forex trading. The Asians are good, but the brothers are like, no, we're just going to get in here. Fuck you, gangsta forex. Certainly they can blow it up, but they have it so simple. They're like, we're selling the high today. They're like, what's your strategy? Buy the low of last week. No stops. 10 grand on the account. We're up 30 grand. Yes, of course. So people are like, I don't know. Poindexter's out there. I'm building a Gartley scanner at the moment. I'm back testing. I'm talking to other people about it. I like the gut feeling traders better. So Mark Douglas talks about mechanical trading, which I think is the low volatility breakout systems, which they do make money. You can get whipsawed. Then Mark Douglas talks about, I have an intuition about this trade. I have a gut feeling. Something about this sell-off looks fake. Looks like a CNN sell-off. CNN. So MSNBC sell-off. Fake. More fake pips. Let's buy it. Sure, you might get stopped out, but you cannot expect to win 365 days a year. If you do, then in this idea that you're going to, I say you should be your own mentor. You just buy a mirror. I don't, I did it. I did do it. I did study with these guys. I met them in the flesh. as I look back, it turns out it's about how they saw risk, how they weren't afraid. They just, I'm just doing this. Andrew Cardwell, he's made so much money trading his simple RSI. It's so hilarious. He cleaned up. Now, he's trading commodities still to this day. I don't even think he trades S&P. He don't trade forex. He said that, and I couldn't believe this. This goes to show you. These people that, no matter who it is, when you hear them say certain things, you're going, he didn't just say that, did he? He says in this interview, if you look up Andrew Cardwell, the RSI guy on YouTube, it's still posted out there, not the greatest audio, and he says, what are the settings? The guy asked him, what do you think the settings are for forex, for RSI? He says, 40 period. What? I can't even see the fucking thing move up and down. Nah, that can't be right. I can't believe anybody would say that. I got it set to 3. Actually, I took his course. I met him. I've spent like $2,000. I talked to him on the phone. I said, gold's going up. I'll bring the chart. I print out a giant chart. Look at gold. He goes, it's too soon. I go, no. Look at the divergence. Hidden divergence on gold at $270 an ounce. Boy, I was like, dude, this RSI guy, this is the shit, RSI. And then when No Nonsense came out with the RSI sucks, I'm like, you're driving a Ferrari and you're wondering why it won't go. Dude, it's not an automatic tranny. You got to push the clutch in. Then he destroys the tranny. He's like, I don't know, man. That's Ferrari. It's a little overpriced. Your F40, I can't even order a carry-out window. I got to get out of the car. Yeah. Dollars. Look at this. Look at this thing. Now, this looks like it could sell off now. The correlation's going to come in now. Don't forget, we sell at the market. At the end of the day, if it's up, we buy if it's down. We're going against No Nonsense. Fade the dumbest trader to date. The algo indicator builder. Yeah, I'm still laughing about the guy in Discord. I got to go read some more Discord tonight. It's literally what do the kids call it? Rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off material. I'm sitting in a really bad chair right now. I have to reorientate myself. Here's another one. Another Andrew Cardwell trick is that. So here's another thing I didn't think of either, because computers were coming around at the time, and I was printing out charts, but he was doing charts by hand. He literally was doing RSI calculations with a calculator. We're up 40 pips. What is my last index? Let's add to that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Then it hit me. He's so intimately into the markets that he can tell you without looking at the chart. Yeah, RSI is around so and so, and if it goes to so and so, yeah, we're gonna have a reversal. This is a trade continuation entry. I mean, the other thing is that how can the no-nonsense guy say RSI doesn't work when he doesn't realize that it's the best trend continuation indicator on the planet? More oversold at a higher price buy. It's not just overbought, oversold, dumb shit. And also, no-nonsense doesn't know what divergence is. He can't see it. I think he's blind. I don't get it. Anybody that studied this shit for even 2 years is like, what are you talking about? What happened to this guy? He's been trading long enough. He can't see this shit? Unbelievable, man. It blows my mind. But you can kind of tell he's dumb by the way he talks. It's like what Trump says about Biden. He's just a stupid guy. Yeah, he can't even do it. He can't even do. If he robbed a bank, he'd fuck it up. He'd tell everybody, I'm about to rob a bank. I don't know. But that's fine. It's entertaining. And the fact that he knows ICT is so cute. They talk to each other. So with ICT, you have to put up with this 15-minute. Here's ICT. We're doing impression ICT here. I haven't beat up on him in a while. What mark are we in here? Swiss franc. 15-minute chart. There's ICT. We've got this easy, Keith. ICT breaker over here. Here's the banker's liquidity entry. High liquidity zone we sell here. Really? ICT, where'd you figure this out? You know, that's the high of the day too, right? That's beyond the high of the day. Who's not selling up there? Look at this double top becomes a bottom at the 50-yard line. Huh? I'm talking about? Buy at the 25-yard line. Comes up. Yeah, so ITC's looking at this. Yeah, you could look at that. My buy limits are here. Liquidity area. He'll mark off. He's charging people $100 a month to tell them this is the banker's liquidity area. Really? You figured that out? All in one day? Well, dude, I could just go to the 4-hour chart and be like, how about we go to the 4-hour chart and just zoom in? Get rid of that noise. Also, we see the other liquidities in the 4-hour chart. We have this whole area. So here, the 4-hour chart, his thing's here, right? What I just pointed out on the 15 is over here. This is happening all over the fucking place. It doesn't matter which breaker, which ICT breaker block you get in. If you're selling this thing, if you can't see this hole, right, and it rips back, but that doesn't mean the market's going to keep tanking either. I'm trading a lot more. Every day I'm trading something that forex is open. And now I'm going to have to trade Bitcoin, it looks like, because I'm in Bitcoins. I'm aware of the Bitcoin thing. I'm buying Bitcoin every time it's below 9,000. So all the way down. I saw Sue Lee did a thing on Bitcoin. Like, these are all confirmation. He's a confirmationist. Confirmationists are just goobers at heart, you know. The guts and the glory is throwing buy limits in here and just walk away. Set it and forget it. So there's set it and forget it strategy. Trade at the market. This is probably the prettiest song that this guy ever wrote. It's called Prism. I'm going to crank it up. I don't know if you can hear music in the background. For all I know, it's not even tracking. I don't see my meters moving. That's probably the hardest thing to play is fretless bass, I must say. This is in Tokyo. Tokyo. Although the studio version of this is better, because he's got Jan Jabarek on sax. Now listen to this piano solo, man. This guy is fucking unreal. This is an old track. He's like channeling something. Amazing. Jack DeJohnette on drums. Gary Peacock on bass. I don't think this is a standard though, is it? The beauty of the song is it's in a minor key and it turns around perfectly. The resolve is it wraps itself up right here. Now it goes into the Asian session here. Goes back to the range, the verse. So the chorus for me is the trend. The big blasting move. And the verse is the cause for the chorus. So the sideways action here. And then we have this big chorus where everybody agrees. The pound looks like it's going to keep pounding north. So I didn't stay in that trade because I just, as a rule, do not trade two things at a time. Here we go. We're cashing out. Cashing out. Most of my exits are going to be here. The sellers are coming in now. Above this. Let's have a quick dirty blast. It's bottom of the hour. We're on the half-hour chart. I suspect that people will sell here and cash out in about 10 seconds. Possible rip back because all the market bots are selling, and they're selling the structure here. Incrementally getting in. Sell a little bit at the market. Boom. You're short. You're going to cash out here, maybe buy back on limits. You're going to sell limits here. You're short one at the market. You got limits up there. If it's up another half hour, you'll sell. If you're a bear. Like I said, beware of this vacuum because it's so big. We should all be able to play piano like that. Let's see how the half-hour market order traders do. Every time that comes down, they're winning from right here. Right? But I'm not going to reverse my whole position. I'm going to ride this out. I think the final resting place is above here. Well, on the way to that top, we still got to get through this. It's going to be a big deal. And all that. Right now we're in the seller's window. Somebody sold on a limit there. I guarantee you they're scalping to here possibly. And somebody sold to the market. And I know I think I might have got it at one ticket if I'm lucky here. If I loaded heavily on this double bottom here and built a long position on the bottom here and did not buy the breakout, I just watch it for confirmation. So I'm thinking, I know what trade plans are gonna, in other words, I know that the half hour systems identified a small half hour bar and they have a buy stop and sell stop, but since I'm not in that position, I can see what's going to fuel that. I'm watching that breakout for confirmation, not to enter upon that, but just to say, yeah, I could see that trade's the fucking strategy to trade right now. Yes. Small bars. Tight stops. Tight stops to get in. Tight stops once you're in. If I buy here on a breakout with a stop here and a cancel replace, I'm also asking to get stopped out here at a profit. People say, I love that system. You know, for a lot of people that's good, but for as long as I've been doing this, it ain't good enough. That's why I'm bitching about all the. Why are you bitching about all these people's? You know what? Why are you making fun of other people's trades so I can learn something? So I can say, I remember when I used to think like no nonsense, one trick goober. I remember that. But Jesus, man. If you're getting killed, and you can see the guys in Discord getting killed trying to qualify, well, that's the. Don't forget the one candle rule. I know, but the ATR is like. I like this trade, but the baseline doesn't match my ATR, doesn't match my one candle rule, doesn't match my C1, confirmation 2. I think that's what that C means in there. I'm trying to figure out their code speak. Dude, I'm just trying to get to 12 grand on this fucking account, okay? So I can make 10 grand in 2 weeks and I'll publish this fucking thing. You'll see. I don't have to. If you can't see what's going on here. Nice tight spread here. See, this part here of this song sucks because here's where Jan Jabarek on the studio version of this thing comes in with the most fucking insane sax solo. They're just going to groove on this thing now. This is the consolidation of the song here. Consolidation range. Anyways, that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to put the link to that one folder there. And if you can figure out how to get to the master folder, let me know. And that's all I got.